Hey guys, this is Chelsea Green, and you're on the Real News Talk channel. As most of you know by now, that I've decided to step away from social media for the time being, due to unnecessary death threats that I've been receiving after sending my condolences to Hulk Hogan and his family. Even though I cleared up the misunderstanding, people still attacked me and wasn't hearing anything that I had to say. So I said to myself that this is getting out of hand and I need to step off this demonic platform and maintain my mental health because it's not worth it. And all I want to do is come on here and be comedic and have fun with my true fans, but the satanic fake ones ruin everything. So I won't be active online for now, but you can still catch me doing my thing and entertaining you every Friday nights on SmackDown. Retronic Ice Cat, you know what the fuck to do.
So now people are attacking Chelsea Green for stating her opinion and for paying tribute to the late Hulk Hogan. I don't know what to say anymore other than social media and today's time is worse than ever. We are living in the worst time in history. We definitely are. And social media is one of the main causes of it because people feel so comfortable to send death threats to someone that they don't even know past the TV, behind the keyboard, talking shit, sending death threats, empty threats to a person they don't know. All because of a difference of opinion. Because they don't think like you. You want them to be like you and think like you. With your narcissistic self. Like, I just don't get it. Millennials and Gen Z, especially, are some of the most fucked up people on the planet. Social media has taken over their lives. These are the same type of people that don't even know how to socialize with people or interact with people on a civil level, other than calling people names, putting people down for difference of opinion, being racist, being discriminatory, judging others. Like, I just don't understand today's time. You're running someone off of social media, sending death threats to them because they don't share the same views as you. Chelsea Green is not a racist. She didn't mention anything about politics or racism. All she said was she would like to share her condolences and her feelings as to why she came into the business. And Hulk Hogan was one of her inspirations to become a pro wrestler, along with her husband. He was also inspired by Hulk Hogan. That was it. That was the only thing she said. And then you have these assholes that want to come after her by saying, oh, you're supporting a racist. Why are you not acknowledging the fact that he's a racist? That's got nothing to do with that. She's not talking about Hulk Hogan as a person. She's talking about the fucking character. But yet, you want to send death threats to her? Is that worth sending death threats to someone because they think differently than you? Are you that fucking retarded? Like, seriously. Seriously. Some of you motherfuckers don't even deserve to be on the internet because, then again, you don't even show your faces. The people that are sending death threats are the ones that don't show their face because they're fucking pussies. Because you know you ain't gonna do shit in real life. You wouldn't dare because, like I said before in my previous videos, not everybody's fucking playing. Not everybody's playing your fucking games. You pull up on the wrong person thinking you're gonna do something, you're gonna end up in the dirt. You will end up in the fucking dirt if you do that to the wrong person because not everybody out here is playing fucking games. You guys like to play games too much because your life is so fucked up that you want to make somebody else's life fucked up just like yours. Because you don't have a social life. You barely have friends, or maybe don't have no friends at all. So what do? You go on social media and try and ruin somebody else's life by putting them down. Casting dark spells, dark magic. You lot are evil and demonic. It's bad enough that people are celebrating the death of Hulk Hogan. Look, let me tell you something. I don't agree with what Hulk Hogan said all those years ago about his daughter. He only wants his daughter to date a rich nigger who's a 7-foot tall basketball player. I don't agree with all those things that he said in that video recording that got leaked. I don't agree with that at all. Hulk Hogan fucked up on that one. And WWE did the right thing to terminate him. But for some reason they brought him back. And even though Hulk Hogan didn't outright apologize, but he repented. He repented for his sins. Because how do you know Hulk Hogan didn't have demons on him that time? And I'm not making any excuses, if that's what you're thinking. I'm not making excuses for what Hulk Hogan said all those years ago. No, I'm not. Hulk Hogan deserved to be punished around that time for saying all of these things, because he is the biggest icon to ever put wrestling on the map. He's the reason why a lot of people like The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin, Undertaker were who they are. Because of Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan paved the way for so many wrestlers, past and present. So that's the reason why they had to disassociate from Hulk Hogan for a bit. But ultimately they brought him back. And Hulk Hogan wanted to change and become a better person. Because at the end of the day, none of us are good people. Now, I understand some people don't want to forgive him. That's fine. That's their right. They don't have to forgive Hulk Hogan. They don't have to like Hulk Hogan. But at least show a bit of decency for the dead. I will never disrespect the dead. That's not in my character to disrespect the dead. Let the dead rest in peace. He's no longer on this earth. Do you think Hulk Hogan gives a fuck about what people are saying right now? No, he doesn't. Because he's on the other side. Wherever he is, he's in the spirit world. So he doesn't care what none of us feel or say about him. But for you to wish death and celebrate the death of someone, it just goes to show you what type of evil bastard you are. You are Satan's child. You don't believe in God. You don't even fear God. Until you're on your deathbed, screaming, "Oh my God, oh my God," just like Anton LaVey and Aleister Crowley. Those antichrist people that were around during that time. Spreading all of their Satanism across the globe. Now they're burning in hell. The only time they acknowledged God was on their deathbed, was when they were dying. That's the only time you acknowledge God. But keep thinking that this is a game. Because when you wish death on someone, it can reverse back onto you or to someone that you know. So keep fucking around. Keep wishing death on someone. Because life is not a game, man. People are crashing out left, right, and center. And people are moving on edge. And if you pull up on the wrong person, like I said, you will get put in the dirt. I'm telling you right now. That's why I encourage most of these wrestlers to be armed. And keep themselves protected at all costs. Have security around them. Obviously, they can't have security everywhere they go, but make sure that they have self-awareness. Make sure they know how to move and carry something on them. Even if it's a gun or a mace, depending on what state they're in, make sure they carry something on them to protect themselves, because you don't know who's who out there. You don't know people's agenda. Because we've recently had people that have been stalking the likes of Liv Morgan and Roxanne Perez, going to their homes, you know, to do God knows what, but failed. You know, Chelsea Green is a real one. Do you want Chelsea Green to lie to you? Do you want people to pretend? It seems to me that a lot of people love people to lie to them. They want people to act like, oh, I don't like this person, I don't like that person. I agree with you, this and that. That's not how the world works. She's just telling you up front how it is. And she did just that. There was no harm in what Chelsea Green said. I understood what Chelsea Green meant before she even said anything. And I know Chelsea Green doesn't have any hate in their heart. She's a very respectful person. She carries herself with class and dignity. She plays a comedic character on TV, but in real life, she's a straight up real one. You can't deny that. She's not afraid to speak her mind. And people feel threatened by that. And for those that wish death on Chelsea Green, shame on you and fuck you. Like, a big fuck you to you. What, because she's a woman? You see her as an easy target? To send death threats out to her? You are sick. You are a fucking pussy. And I know it's mainly guys that are doing this, insecure guys that have had bad experiences with women in the past. You guys, man, don't deserve a girlfriend or a wife. That's why you ain't got nobody in your life. Because you have too much hate in your heart. Your heart's not clean. Your heart is black. Your heart's full of shit. You see me, I'm not fake. I'll tell you how it is. I'm not going to lie to you and pretend that I actually agree with you. We can agree to disagree. But when you start personally attacking people, then that's where I draw the line. I'll be like, you know what? This person's a fucking douchebag. This person is a fucking narcissist. Because it's all about you. You don't give a fuck about nobody else's thoughts and opinions other than your own. As long as they agree with you, oh, they're a piece of shit. I don't understand certain people. That I really fucking don't. The world was a better place before social media came into play. This is why I don't really fuck with social media like that anymore. I do my videos, say what I need to say, log off. That's it. I barely even communicate with certain wrestling fans. More, in fact, I hardly communicate with wrestling fans at all, period. I really don't. Because a lot of people are fake. People are fucking fake. They act like they're cool with you. You know, they'll be cool with you in the beginning. Then all of a sudden, they'll just turn on you, man. That's how the IWC, YWC has always been. Just because they like you, just because they talk to you and be cool with you and that doesn't mean that they really like you. They could be in secret competition with you. And this is what the internet does. The internet makes you compete with your so-called friend. And then you end up becoming enemies later on. I've seen it happen in the past in the IWC. People are not really real with each other. They're not. They're just out for themselves, man. And it's sad. There's only a few real ones. There's only a few real ones that you can kick it with. You know. That are like-minded. And you're happy with each other. You wish each other nothing but the best. Without any jealousy and envy. But the ones who are in secret competition with you, they're the most dangerous ones. They are the snakes. And those people you need to distance yourself from as far as possible. Because this internet is just fucking toxic, man. Filled with a lot of demons. You know? A lot of witches and warlocks around it, man. The world is getting more and more wicked and wicked every day. And like I've said before, the people that are wishing death on someone and celebrating the death of somebody, they are demonic. 100%. You might not have liked the person while they were alive, but doesn't mean that you need to celebrate their deaths. It's better you just keep your mouth shut and keep it moving, rather than exposing yourself as a demon. But hey, the devil's not hiding anymore. The devil is showing himself. You know? There was only a few wrestlers that sent their condolences to Hulk Hogan. Only a few. A lot of the wrestlers that didn't like him while they were alive, they just kept quiet. And you know what? I respect those people. You know why? Because they weren't fake. They stuck to their guns. They stood 10 toes down. Their thoughts about Hulk Hogan never changed. Dead or alive. Now that he's passed away, they just kept quiet. And I respect those ones. Rather than, oh, rest in peace, Hulk Hogan, man. You were an inspiration to me. I've always liked you and that. Nah. People that do that are fake as fuck. They are fake as fuck. They have no room to talk. Don't pretend that you like someone now just because they're dead. Don't give your flowers to a dead person. Give your flowers to somebody that's alive. Not when they're 6 feet underground. Because I watched that tribute on SmackDown, right? I watched the tribute, the 10 bell salute that they did on Hulk Hogan. And the atmosphere seemed a bit funny. Despite people chanting Hogan, those were the ones that rocked with Hogan through and through. But a lot of people that were standing on the entrance ramp, a lot of them were just like, man, can we just get this over with? I just want to do my job. They didn't really care about Hulk Hogan because after he got exposed, I was like, man, fuck that guy. So now that he's dead, they'll just rather remain silent and just went along with it. The only person that shed a tear was Jimmy Hart. And Jimmy Hart rocked with Hulk Hogan through and through. You know? I think Jimmy Hart was the only true friend that Hulk Hogan ever had. Because he stuck with him right from the beginning, from the 80s, right up until his death. Now, that's a real friend. Because you rarely have people that rock with you like that anymore. Especially in this day and age. And knowing that those two come from a different era where loyalty and respect was a strong thing. Those two had a good, strong bond. And they kept that bond all the way to the end. You know? Jimmy Hart was the only one that cried during that 10 bell salute. The rest of them were just like silent, mute. They just had a straight face. They didn't look sad. They just had a straight, serious face. Because obviously, they know that they're on TV, so they have to act like they give a fuck. But deep down, they don't. A lot of them didn't really give a fuck. Except a few. Except the OGs of professional wrestling and the ones that worked with them. You know? Maybe they will have a bit of feelings towards his death. But a lot of them, especially the younger wrestlers, they didn't give a fuck. They just went along with it. They just wanted to get on with their job. So that whole tribute thing, to me, was pretty eerie. It seemed pretty fake to me. You know, because Hogan's last appearance earlier this year, he got booed out the fucking building. So it just goes to show you how people really felt about Hogan. You know, his legacy was never the same since after he got exposed for being a racist. But it's funny because they're treating Hulk Hogan like he's Chris Benoit, like he killed someone. Hulk Hogan never murdered anyone. He never molested nobody. He never raped anybody. You know? He never did any of those things, but yet he's getting the Benoit treatment. A guy who allegedly killed his wife and son, let alone himself. So he's been brushed in the same category as Chris Benoit, which is pretty crazy to me. You know? So yeah, man. Some of the fake love that Hulk Hogan is getting, now that he's gone, is just sick. It's better you just stick to your guns, man. You know? Keep the same energy that you had while he was alive. And keep it moving. And the ones who rocked with Hulk Hogan through thick and thin, yeah, you have a right to pay tribute to the man. Because obviously, the guy's an icon, no doubt. And he revolutionized pro wrestling. He dominated WWF and WCW. You know? The leader of the New World Order, NWO. You know? Paved the way for a lot of wrestlers, man. He had a lot of good matches too. And Hulk Hogan could actually wrestle too. You know? Because if you saw some of his matches in New Japan, the guy is okay. I won't say that he's a great wrestler, but he was good at best. You know, he did have some moves. But in WWE, WWF, his style of wrestling was limited. So it looked as if he couldn't wrestle at all. You know? But yeah, man. Chelsea Green, she doesn't deserve all this hate. There was nothing wrong what Chelsea Green said. But yeah, I'm going to get into the article, man, because I've ranted on for far too long. Chelsea Green quits Twitter after death threats over Hulk Hogan remarks. Fucking ridiculous. Chelsea Green has logged off Twitter following a brutal wave of online hate, including death threats, after she paid tribute to Hulk Hogan without mentioning his past controversies. The former WWE Women's United States champion announced her departure in a final message to fans, explaining just how toxic the platform had become. I've tried to keep my page positive and comedic, but today a lot changed, and it hit harder than I expected. The name calling, the death threats, the faceless accounts. Green said what once felt like a fun place for fan interaction had spiraled into something much darker. I don't think it was ever a fun place. There was always demons on that platform. And it's gotten much worse ever since. Social media was supposed to be a fun place, and it hadn't been for a while. It's been overwhelming, and I need to step away for a bit. Love my patriots. President Chels. Well, you know what, to be honest, I don't blame her for stepping away from social media, because social media can fuck your mind up. A lot of people have committed suicide because of social media, because of the death threats, because of the name calling, making people feel insecure about themselves. Though she didn't go into specifics, the decision comes days after her CBS News appearance where she honored Hogan's legacy, which is her right. Critics quickly accused her of ignoring his past racist remarks. Green later issued a public apology on social media. Why, Chelsea, why would you apologize? Apologize for what? You're paying tribute to the man. Right? And people are crying about you not acknowledging his past. You said nothing wrong. What does his past got to do with you paying tribute to the man? Because he was somebody that paved the way for women like you to become a pro wrestler, to live your dream. Don't make sense. You shouldn't have apologized for anything. Let me be clear. My stance on racism is unwavering. I do not condone it, period, she wrote. If my response or tweet seemed dismissive of real concerns, I sincerely apologize. That was never my intention. I try to acknowledge a death respectfully, even when the legacy is complicated. I am learning one day at a time and will continue to learn. You see, she cleared that up. Are you guys slow? She said that just because, basically, she said just because she is honoring the death of a man who paved the way to make wrestling what it is today, doesn't mean that she was being dismissive of his past remarks. She wasn't talking about his past. She was acknowledging the man for paving the way for people like Chelsea Green. That's in the business today. I swear, some people are just so fucking retarded. It's not even funny, man. Like, real I don't understand people. But Chelsea Green cleared that up. It doesn't get any clearer than that. She told you straight. She was being real. She was being sincere. If she wasn't being real, she wouldn't have... In fact, if she wasn't being real, she wouldn't have said anything at all. She would not have said anything, or she would have just kept her mouth shut, but she decided to tell you dumb fucks straight. Racism has got nothing to do with the man's death. The man's not on this earth anymore. Still, the online backlash escalated, and for Green, the tipping point came fast and hard. Her exit from Twitter mirrors a growing trend among public figures who are stepping back from social platforms to protect their mental health. Rightfully so, because social media is full of shit. Full of demonic witches and warlocks that be casting spells on people. You know? Trying to destiny swap with people. Put people down. For no fucking reason. Elena Black announced a break from wrestling altogether, citing online pressure and personal well-being. Chelsea Green's departure is yet another reminder that public figures are not immune to the psychological toll of constant hate and harassment, even when their intentions are misunderstood. Not everybody is... Listen. Not everybody is resilient as some people that want to let the critics and haters get to them. But some people just need to step away to maintain their mental health and reevaluate themselves and recharge themselves, because being on social media every day could be draining. It can be draining, and it can affect one's mental health. These people are human beings as well. They're not robots. But people be treating them like they're some sort of like rag dolls and shit, thinking that you can just talk to people on the net anyhow. But you will never have that same energy in real life. And that's what Chelsea Green said on her Twitter page. You know? Are social media platforms doing enough to protect people from abuse and threats? Hell no. Social media was designed to mess with people and to make people crash out. They need people to crash out so they can have something to talk about and brag about. That's not going to stop nothing, because people can hide themselves on the internet and do whatever and say whatever to people without a care in the world, because they're demonic, and social media is demonic. Or are we all too comfortable tearing others down from behind the screen? Of course people are comfortable tearing others behind the screen, because they know they can't be touched. Until they get touched themselves, they're going to feel comfortable by saying whatever the fuck they want. Whether it's being racist, putting a person down, wishing death on a person. And sometimes when people wish death and send death threats to people, it doesn't have to be physical. It can be spiritual as well. They could be putting curses in you, praying to Satan for you to die. Because there's a lot of people that want to see others die. And when the person dies, they're like, yes, that person's gone. Yes, they're no longer around. My work is done. Thank you, Satan. Yes. They'll be saying that behind the scenes, not knowing that karma's just right around the corner waiting for them to kick them in the ass 10 times harder. No Diddy. You see what I'm saying? Life is not a fucking game, man. I'm telling you right now. You're going to fuck with the wrong one and you're going to find out. Play stupid games, you win stupid prizes, man. This is why I don't fuck with social media like that, man. I really don't. Because it's a dark, dark place. There's too much competitive jealousy, enviness, people pretending to be cool with you, only to be in secret competition with you. It's like, you just don't even know who to trust anymore. That's why a lot of people these days would rather be alone than to socialize with anyone. And it's always the ones closest to you that will hurt you the most. It's always been that way, man. And it's sad. That's why a lot of people are not social anymore. People have become antisocial. People stick to themselves these days. You know, it's not like how it was back in the 70s, 80s, 90s, and even early 2000s where people used to chill with each other. People used to hang out with each other. You know, people used to have each other's backs. Now everybody's for themselves. Everyone's become selfish. And we live in a selfish time. Millennials and Gen Z have fucked it all up. They fucked it all up, man. Now they want to tear each other down. They want to kill one another like it's nothing. Celebrating people's deaths. Wishing death on someone. It's sick, man. We live in a sick world. That's why we live in the worst time in history. Everybody's fake, man. Everybody's fucking fake. Nobody's real with each other no more. No one's sincere with each other. Nothing but hate, man. And I support Chelsea Green for stepping away from social media for a while. You know, shout out to Chelsea Green. I hope that you bounce back stronger and keep doing your thing on SmackDown as well. Because you don't deserve this hate. You did nothing wrong. You know. You did nothing wrong at all. You should be more unapologetic. Because I know what you meant. And I know that, you have no hate in your heart towards anyone. And you just want to have fun. But yeah, shout out to Chelsea Green. Much love to you. You know, I respect you a lot. So, yeah, that's all I have to say about the Hogan situation. Me, what I think about the whole situation, I think that the man, Hulk Hogan, the character, is someone that cannot be duplicated. He revolutionized pro wrestling. He had a lot of great matches with the likes of Ultimate Warrior, Andre the Giant, Macho Man Randy Savage, Bill Goldberg in WCW, Sting. He revolutionized the NWO in WCW. He came back to the WWE in 2002. You know, he had one last run. He had a fun match with Shawn Michaels and Randy Orton. He had a good match with The Undertaker as well. This guy has had a lot of classic matches. You know, a lot of memorable matches that people talk about still to this day. And he also had a good match with The Rock as well at WrestleMania 18. You know, their feud was pretty fun as well. But it's a shame that we didn't get to see Hulk Hogan versus Stone Cold Steve Austin. That would have been another great match as well. The closest that we ever saw is when The Rock and Austin faced the NWO in a 3-on-2 handicap match on Raw in 2002. That was the closest where we ever got to see Hogan and Austin. You know, and then he went to TNA in 2009, 2010. He was running things along with Eric Bischoff. He did his thing over there. But it wasn't as memorable as his WWF and WCW days, obviously. But Hogan did his thing. He even had his own reality show, Hogan Knows Best, and his own cartoon as well. Back in the 80s. Starred in the movie Rocky III with Sylvester Stallone. Been in a few other movies here and there. So, Hogan, man, as a wrestler and a character, well respected. As a person, I don't really know him as a person, but I've met Hulk Hogan one time, 11 years ago, and he seemed really cool. But the whole racist thing that he said, I don't condone that one bit. I don't condone that at all. But at least he repented before he passed on. And that's where I give my respect to Hulk Hogan. Because he gave his life to Jesus Christ. If he never did that and he passed on, then it's a different story. But at least he repented and asked the Most High for forgiveness. But I know a lot of people might not agree with me on that. And they're going to still feel the way they feel about the man. Rightfully so. You have a right to feel how you want to feel. But me personally, the man did the right thing by repenting for his sins. Because he tried to make amends on his life before he died. And now he's with the Most High, and may the Lord have mercy on him. So, rest in peace, Hulk Hogan. There will never be another Hulk Hogan ever again. So yeah, that's all I gotta say. This is the Retro Kid, Retronic Ice Cat on the Real News Talk channel. You know what to do. I'm out. Peace.